Present.
Councilmember Perez.
Present.
Councilmember Montoya.
Present.
City Attorney Eric Bell.
Present.
City Manager Tanya Wiggins.
Present.
Okay, all present and accounted, so at this time we'll call on the city attorney to discuss the items that will be discussed in closed session.
Thank you, Mayor. We have three primary items today. The first item is a conference with legal counsel with regard to pending litigation. We've listed two cases there. They're really one collective case. This has to do with a further round of opioid settlement, so we'll discuss both of those together at the same time. Item two is a conference with legal counsel with regard to one item of litigation. We have an update on the dispute with Newland for you to discuss. And item three is a conference with legal counsel with one other existing item of litigation, ES Towing Enterprises versus City of Rialto. That's it.
Okay, thank you very much. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak to any of these items, seeing that there's no one present? So at this time, do I hear a motion to close? Motion's been made by Carla Perez that we close, seconded by Andy Caraceres, who is now present. Moving to closed session. All those in favor signify by saying aye. 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 Any opposition? None.
Hi guys, welcome back to our show. What are we calling this? Vendor shoutouts, farmers market, whatever the case is. If you have any suggestions, leave a comment down below. But we're here at the Rialto Certified Farmers Market, and today we will be talking to one of our vendors who is Happy Hog Farms. They have been here with us for a very long time at the farmers market, so let's go check them out. Alright guys, we are here in front of Happy Hog Farms booth. Alright, let's get started. Are you ready?
Yeah.
So, can you tell me a little bit about your business?
We're local. We're in downtown Riverside, so we try to come out and try to support people for access to like fresh fruit, organic. A lot of stuff that we sell right here we grow it, whether it's sugar canes, avocados, lime, and then the juice machine. That's oranges from Riverside County. Everything is local.
Do you have any best sellers or anything that customers love?
The guacamole, that's the best seller. My brother makes it, but a little bit of tomato, a little bit of lime, and there's a lot of guacamole, a lot of chunks of avocado, so it's really, really good. That's our best seller, and the tamales. Everything is freshly made, and they're Mexican tamales, because people ask, what kind are they? Because some people use banana leaves, we use corn leaves. We have beef, pork, chicken, and cheese for the people that don't eat meat. And then we sell ceviche, fish, shrimp, vegan.
All right, do you have any fun or interesting facts about the business?
Well, what people don't really know that we're only allowed to use local. So when we press the juice, we're only allowed what's in season. You know, so sometimes it's not as sweet as it was, because once we run out of the navel, we'll start the Valencia, and it'll get sweeter as the weeks go by. So people don't know that, so they'll think like, why aren't you just getting the sweeties that's on right now? But we don't get our stuff from like the markets or the commercial. It's all locally farmed.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us today. I appreciate it. All right, guys, well, that was Happy Hog Farms. We will see you guys next time. Bye.
When the earth shakes, the ground moves, and things start to fall, you'll ask yourself, how prepared or unprepared are you? Have you removed objects from over the bed and over your head? Anchored your possessions securely to the wall. It won't be a pain, and you're not doing it in vain. Are your emergency kits packed? What about your family, your friends? Did they know what to do, how to get in touch, and where to meet? Do you know how to drop, cover, and hold on, covering your head and neck? What if you're outside? Or in a car? After the shaking stops, look around. Figure out what to do. Stay away from damaged areas. Turn on a radio. Reach out for help. And if you're trapped, do not move about. Stay calm. Only shout as a last resort. Once everything and everyone is safe, get prepared. An aftershock could be on its way. So before the earth shakes, the ground moves, and things start to fall, get prepared. Make a plan. Practice what you know, because an earthquake can happen anytime, anywhere. You never know.
Throughout our daily lives, we encounter times where the equipment we use needs to be taken in for service or for upgrades, from system updates on our computers and phones to maintenance on our cars. During these periods of maintenance, the equipment is usually not available for use. The electrical system is no different. Occasionally, Southern California Edison needs to de-energize and take portions of the system offline so that crews can safely make repairs or upgrades. When Southern California Edison schedules maintenance, we will begin mailing out outage alerts 7 to 10 days before the outage to ensure that you have time to properly prepare. When you receive one of these maintenance outage notifications, here are some key things to pay attention to. Number 1, the outage number. If you have any questions about the outage or status of the outage, you can call SCE or visit our outage map at sce.com for more information. Number 2, the estimated start and end times. These times are estimates. We will try to reduce the length of the outage so the actual times may be different. Also, be sure to understand the times and the length of time of the outage, as some outages are conducted overnight. Number 3, the impacted address. This may seem obvious, but many customers have more than one location where they receive electricity. Number 4, resources and tips for how to prepare for an outage, including tips for electronic items and food safety. If you want to get even more time to prepare for an outage and to receive communications digitally, including updates if an outage is canceled or the restoration time is rescheduled, please log into or register your account at sce.com and select your desired notification preferences: email, text, or phone.
I'm Scott McAfee of Don's Bikes, and we are rooted in Rialto. The stores opened on April 1st, 1959, so 66 years ago, a long time, which is pretty wild. It was a little hole-in-the-wall store up the street at that point, and my dad pretty much ran it all by himself. And I'd say, you know, as a kid, I grew up in the business, so I would do a lot of the purchasing for him. I'd work on bikes, and I think at that point I got a rough idea of like how to run a small business. 5 days after my 18th birthday, my father passed away. He was actually riding his bicycle home. He had a heart attack and passed away. So I became a small business owner at 18. It was not what I planned on doing for a living. I was actually in college at the time and was getting my degree in psychology. I wanted to be a counselor, ended up getting my master's in counseling. And but we decided to keep the business because it was generating an income, was getting me through school. So we thought, okay, let's keep this thing. And we ended up moving down here at this current location in the early 80s. We just ran out of room. So we made the big leap and kind of tripled our size. And I remember it was pretty scary at that point, like, wow, are we gonna be able to afford this rent? You know, will the business accommodate that? And sure enough, it did. And we continued to grow. I started hiring people to run the business, to help run it. We did several expansions at this location in Rialto. And then in 2012, we opened up our Redlands store, which is like 3 times the size of this place. And that took off like a rocket from day one. And here we are like 66 years later. It's one of those things, if my dad could see us now, he'd be blown away. Not only as far as the things we do, but just the depth and the difference of products that we offer now. Electric bikes are incredibly popular. We're actually selling electric motorcycles now, something I never thought I would be selling. We sell a lot of high-end carbon bikes that have electronic shifting. My bike has electronic shifting on it. We have entry-level bikes. I mean, if you want something for like 13 grand, we've got those. But if you're wanting more like an inexpensive bike just to commute back and forth to work, we do sell used bikes as well. So it's a variety, and there's a lot of different categories of riders. That's, I think, the thing that keeps me interested and motivated in this business. You just never know who or what you're going to work with next. It's a very, very diverse group of people, but what they all share in common, I think, is a love of cycling. And I see the expression on people's faces when if they've been off a bike for a while, when they come back from a little test ride, they've always got that smile on their face, like, wow, it's like being a kid again. So it's really cool. Our address is 384 South Riverside Avenue in Rialto. We're open from 10 till 6 Monday through Saturday, 11 to 4 on Sundays. Or you can go online to donsbikeshop.com. We do a lot of repair work. This place is crazy. On a weekend, we do a ton of repairs, so we have quite a few mechanics. I have 22 employees total. A lot of them are dedicated mechanics. This is what they do all day long. They fix other people's bikes. And we work on all kinds of bikes, not just the ones we sell, but pretty much bikes from all over the place. The cool thing about this business is it is about health, fitness, psychological health. You know, as I know, just getting a master's in counseling psychology, anything you can do to reduce stress is just a win-win. And so we are tied in with fitness, with health, with recreation, with community, with, you know, giving people groups to ride with. We do events with the city and we partner with them on a lot of different things. We do have the ride out for the teens. Rialto PD gives us an escort for that. We also had some really cool celebrities come out. These are people from the biking world from like the 80s, or kind of the stars, if you will, of the BMX world that came out to be part of our event. So, you know, we kind of been part of this community for a very long time. And, you know, when people have asked, well, why do I like to give back to my community? And it's because my community has given so much to me. And probably one of the favorite things I like about doing this is you get to really know people in this business. Kind of like a barber or a hairstylist where you talk to people and you get to know their stories. I mean, I had an exchange with a gentleman just this morning who shared some sorrow and some loss from a family member who passed away, but those are the kind of relationships we develop with people, and we've done so over literally decades. And it's just kind of cool because most businesses, they don't get to get that personal, I guess, with people, but that's probably my favorite thing, is just all the relationships, the friendships that we have made with all kinds of different people over the years.
The City of Rialto's upgraded permitting center is a seamless, user-friendly experience for permit applications, business license requests, and secure online payments. Designed for efficiency, transparency, and convenience, this platform is built to service residents, contractors, and city staff alike. Everything you need all in one place. Check out this introduction video to the new online permit center coming June 2nd.
Welcome to Civic Access, the online customer access portal for the City of Rialto. This introduction will navigate you through the various online services and functions offered by the City of Rialto. As a guest visiting the site, you will be able to pay invoices, search for records, and view scheduled inspections. If you are a registered user, you will have access to see more information about your applications and records, and even apply for certain development applications. To log in, click Login or Register in the top right corner of the page, or with the tile in the center of the screen. If you have not registered for Civic Access, please create an account prior to logging in. After successfully logging in, you will see additional tabs and functionality. The first tab is the Home page. This will bring you back to the main page again from wherever you are in the website. The next tab is the Apply tab. This is where you can apply for available online permit, plan, and business license applications. After clicking Apply, you will be automatically redirected to the city's decision engine, which is a guided application to help you find the correct permit, plan, or business license application to apply for. The next tab is the Dashboard. In the dashboard, you will be able to see the progress of your permit and plan applications that you've submitted to the city. You will also be able to view all of your inspections and their associated statuses. Your dashboard will also show your open invoices. You can make payments by adding them to your cart and making a payment with a credit card. If you have business licenses with the city, they will be listed at the bottom of the dashboard screen. My Work is another way to see all of your associated records in a list view. It is sectioned out into permits or plans, inspections, and invoices. If you applied for a permit or plan at City Hall, you should see the record in this screen. If you have difficulty finding a particular record, you are able to filter and sort your records. There is even an option to export your records into a Microsoft Excel file. Providing the correct email address and contact information on your application is essential to being able to see your records in the online portal. Please contact the city if you are not seeing your applications in the online portal. If you want to see scheduled inspections, click on the Today's Inspections tab. If you would like to see upcoming scheduled inspections or past scheduled inspections, simply change your desired date. The Search Records tab allows you to search and view information available for permit, plan, licenses, and inspections records. You can search with record numbers, keywords, or partial descriptions. Click on the record number to see more details of the record. If you cannot locate the record you are looking for, please contact the city. The last tab is the Help tab, which is where you most likely found this video. Along with this introduction video, there will be other instruction videos and help guides available to you. If you need additional assistance, please contact the city. Now that we have gone over all of the menu options, let's quickly go over the 6 tiles that you see on the home page. These offer you another way to quickly navigate the most frequently visited menu areas of Civic Access. This has been your introduction to Civic Access, the one-stop shop for development and permit application needs. If you need any additional assistance or information with Civic Access, please contact the city. Thanks for watching.
COVID-19 emergency has hit working families hardest. That's why all across the country, community action agencies are open and here to ensure the well-being of every American family. For over 50 years, we've been delivering hope and opportunity. Now more than ever, working families need life-changing services, solutions, and stability. Contact your local community action agency today.
To give your garden a boost while helping the planet? The City of Rialto has you covered. Rialto residents and businesses can pick up free mulch and compost, open to the public 24 hours a day. Located at 246 South Willow Avenue, in the South parking lot. Bring your shovel and container to this self-serve station and do your part to keep Rialto green. It's first come, first served. Transform your yard and support sustainability at the same time. For more information, call 909-820-2602 or visit www.rialtoca.gov. Proudly brought to you by the City of Rialto Public Works Department. And let's grow greener together.
The earthquakes you see in movies are one thing, but real life is a completely different animal. Just because you can't predict an earthquake doesn't mean that you can't prepare for one. In the event of a real earthquake, you should drop, cover, and hold on. Visit ready.gov/earthquake and practice what to do to keep you and your family safe in the event of a real earthquake. And you'll be seen as a hero by your family and your loved ones.
When the earth shakes, the ground moves, and things start to fall, you'll ask yourself, how prepared or unprepared are you? Have you removed objects? When the earth shakes, the ground moves, and things start to fall, you'll ask yourself, how prepared or unprepared are you? Have you removed objects from over the bed and over your head? Anchored your possessions securely to the wall. It won't be a pain, and you're not doing it in vain. Are your emergency kits packed? What about your family, your friends? Do they know what to do, how to get in touch, and where to meet? Do you know how to drop, cover, and hold on, covering your head and neck? What if you're outside? Or in a car? After the shaking stops, look around. Figure out what to do. Stay away from damaged areas. Turn on a radio. Reach out for help. And if you're trapped, do not move about. Stay calm. Only shout as a last resort. Once everything and everyone is safe, get prepared. An aftershock could be on its way. So before the earth shakes, the ground moves, and things start to fall, get prepared. Make a plan. Practice what you know, because an earthquake can happen anytime, anywhere. You never know. When the earth shakes, the ground moves, and things start to fall, you'll ask yourself, how prepared or unprepared are you? Have you removed objects from over the bed and over your head? Anchored your possessions securely to the wall. It won't be a pain, and you're not doing it in vain. Are your emergency kits packed? What about your family, your friends? Do they know what to do, how to get in touch, and where to meet? Do you know how to drop, cover, and hold on, covering your head and neck? What if you're outside? Or in a car? After the shaking stops, look around. Figure out what to do. Stay away from damaged areas. Turn on a radio. Reach out for help. And if you're trapped, do not move about. Stay calm. Only shout as a last resort. Once everything and everyone is safe, get prepared. An aftershock could be on its way. So before the earth shakes, the ground moves, and things start to fall, get prepared. Make a plan. Practice what you know, because an earthquake can happen anytime, anywhere. You never know.
Service Line Warranty Program is now available for our city in partnership with Service Line Warranties of America that offers homeowners affordable repair service plans for the water and sewer lines that connect homes to our municipal system. Service Line Warranties sends educational information to homeowners with the option to enroll in the program. These letters include our logo so that you know the program is legitimate. Here's how the service works. When a homeowner has a problem, simply call Service Line Warranties toll-free number, available 24 hours a day. A repair management specialist takes your information. A local vetted contractor calls you back to arrange a convenient time to come to your house to make the repair. When the contractor is en route, you'll receive a text and email providing the technician's name and map to track the arrival time. The licensed and qualified contractor fixes the problem on your property, and once the repairs are complete, the contractor is on their way, and Service Line Warranties pays them for the covered repairs. Soon after, you'll receive a text with a link to rate the repair experience. Service Line Warranties uses this information to ensure your satisfaction. The optional Service Line Warranty program is a benefit available to our homeowners. Service Line Warranties, protecting homeowners from the expense and inconvenience of emergency home repairs.
¿Sabías que la oficina del secretario municipal de Rialto ofrece servicios de pasaportes? Ubicada en 290 West Rialto Avenida, el servicio sin cita previa está disponible para el público de lunes a jueves, de 8 de la mañana a 5 de la tarde. Así es, no es necesario hacer cita. Solicitar un nuevo pasaporte requiere lo siguiente. Tenga en cuenta que cada solicitante debe estar presente. Para los niños de 15 años o menos, esto incluye a ambos padres. Complete el formulario de S11 para cada individuo. Use tinta negra y complete solo las casillas designadas. Tenga en cuenta que los formularios de S11 están disponibles a pedido. Las solicitudes de pasaporte de los Estados Unidos solo están disponibles en inglés y deben estar escritas en inglés. Debes completar la sección de información de los padres, incluso si eres un adulto que solicita para sí mismo. No utilices corrector si cometes un error. Y no firme la solicitud hasta que se lo indique el agente de aceptación. Cada solicitante debe tener evidencia de su ciudadanía estadounidense. Los documentos aceptados incluyen un certificado de nacimiento original o un certificado de naturalización. Esto se enviará junto con su solicitud y se le enviará por correo en una fecha posterior. También deberá mostrar una prueba de identidad como una licencia de conducir o tarjeta de identificación válida. Se requerirá que los padres muestren sus identificaciones como medio de identificación para sus hijos. Se deberá presentar una foto reciente de pasaporte para la solicitud. Puede tomarse una foto adentro por una tarifa de $12. Se deberán realizar 2 pagos separados cuando presente su solicitud. El primer pago es por la tarifa de solicitud. Debe estar a nombre del US Department of State, usando un cheque o giro postal solamente. El segundo pago es por la tarifa de ejecución, a nombre de City of Rialto, mediante cheque, giro postal, efectivo o tarjeta de crédito. Puede encontrar las tarifas actuales en rialtoca.gov buscando servicios de pasaporte o escaneando el código QR para obtener un enlace directo a la página. Si hay varios solicitantes en la misma familia, debe presentar pagos separados para cada uno. Y eso es todo. ¿Estás listo para aplicar? Si está renovando su pasaporte, considere lo siguiente. Puede renovar su pasaporte por correo, solo si puede responder sí a estos 5 requisitos sobre su pasaporte actual. Número 1. Su pasaporte está en su poder para presentarlo junto con una solicitud de S-82. Número 2. Su pasaporte no presenta daños distintos al desgaste normal. Número 3. Su pasaporte fue emitido cuando tenía 16 años o más. Esto significa que los pasaportes de menores de edad no son elegibles. Número 4. Su pasaporte ha sido válido por 10 años. Y número 5. Su pasaporte fue emitido con su nombre actual o puede documentar su cambio de nombre. Si respondió no a alguna de las declaraciones, debe presentar la solicitud en persona. Si tiene que presentar la solicitud en persona, siga los pasos para obtener un nuevo pasaporte si cumple con los 5 requisitos. Puede renovar su pasaporte por correo enviando su pasaporte actual, el formulario 82, una foto de pasaporte reciente y su pago. Si tiene más preguntas sobre los servicios de pasaportes, comuníquese con la oficina del secretario municipal de Rialto al 909-8202519 o visite la oficina ubicada en 290 West Rialto Avenida. El horario de atención de los servicios de pasaportes es de lunes a jueves, de 8 de la mañana a 5 de la tarde. Estamos aquí para servirle.
Hola residentes de Rialto, tenemos noticias muy buenas justo a tiempo para la temporada de natación. Clases de natación en la piscina Tom Sawyer están ahora disponibles a un costo reducido gracias a una subvención de la Fundación LA84. A través de nuestro programa de becas acuáticas, la mayor parte del costo está cubierto, por lo que es más fácil de nunca para aprender a nadar. Los aplicantes deben tener entre 5 y 17 años para calificar. Las sesiones duran 2 semanas. Para inscribirse, visite la piscina Tom Sawyer y rellene la aplicación de becas. Pero no esperes, el espacio es limitado y las clases se llenan muy rápido. Consulta las fechas de inscripción para ver cuándo puedes inscribirte en la próxima sesión. La piscina Tom Sawyer ya está extendiendo el horario de las clases de natación, ofreciendo más clases de natación y la celebración de clases de 4 días a la semana, de lunes a jueves. Estamos aquí para ayudarle a chapotear con seguridad.
I'm the City Council, the City of Rialto, the acting successor agency to the redevelopment agency, the Rialto Utilities, and the authority, or for the Utilities Authority and the Rialto Housing Authority will now come to order. Would the clerk call the roll?
Mayor Bach,
Present.
Mayor Baca, Mayor Pro Tem Scott,
Present.
Councilmember Perez,
Present.
Councilmember Montoya,
Present.
Councilmember Carrie Sellers,
Present.
City Attorney Eric Bell,
Present.
City Manager Tanya Williams.
Present.
And I want to let the record reflect that City Treasurer is absent due to a California Municipal Clerks Association meeting. That's where he's attending tonight.
Thank you. All present accounted for. At this time, we'll move on to the Pledge of Allegiance. It will be led by Councilmember Andy Calaceres.
Join me in the pledge to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, we'll have Pastor Joel Booker from the Inland Lighthouse Church give the invocation.
If we could bow our heads. And Lord, we love you tonight. We thank you for this occasion, for this time, and we thank you for your presence. We ask that you would bless these next few minutes. Let your wisdom be with us direct. Bless our mayor, city council, city officials as they do your business here in this town. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. You may be seated. This time I'll call on the city attorney to give us a report on closed session.
Thank you, Mayor. We had three primary matters on the closed session this evening. The first was a conference with legal counsel with regard to two items of pending litigation. Both of these items of pending litigation are really within the same matter. It has to do with the national litigation with regard to the opioid producer settlement. They heard a briefing from the city council and gave direction to the city attorney on that matter. The second item was a conference with legal counsel with regard to one item of anticipated litigation. Had a briefing from the city attorney on that matter and gave direction. The third item was a conference with legal counsel with regard to one item of existing litigation. That item is listed in the the agenda this evening. Council had a briefing from the police chief and from the city attorney, gave direction with regard to that matter. There was no other reportable action on those items. Thank you.
Thank you very much. At this time, we have presentations and proclamations. I see that there are none, but I'm just going to take the time to announce something that our Park and Recreation Director will probably be giving a report on later on, but I thought it was important for the city of Rialto and our audience to know that we have our international festival that's coming up on May 1st. It'll be held at Rialto City Park. So those of you had a chance to look at it, the community's invited. It's a good time to enjoy the variety of different foods that will be provided by a variety of different individuals from within our community. And that concludes that. With that, then we'll move on to oral communications. Is there anyone, Madam Clerk?
No. No, not at this time, Mayor.
Okay, seeing none, then we'll move on to the consent items. All matters listed on the consent calendar are considered to be routine by the City Council and will be acted at one point by motion. Is there anyone from the audience that wishes to pull any item from the consent item? Seeing none, do I hear a motion? Motion's been made by Mayor Pro Tem Ed Scott, seconded by Andy Caracetas to approve the consent item. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposition? Motion carries. At that point, now we'll move on to our tab items. We'll start with tab 1.
Hello, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem and Council. What staff is requesting is the Council conduct a public hearing and adopt Urgency Ordinance 1713, I'll read the title for the record. An urgency ordinance of the City Council of the City of Rialto, California, extending the provisions of urgency ordinance number 1712, establishing a temporary moratorium on the establishment, expansion, or intensification of massage parlors within the jurisdictional boundaries of the City of Rialto for an additional 10 months and 15 days, pending study and adoption of regulatory and zoning standards and determining the ordinance to exempt from CEQA. Basically, on March the 24th, you agreed with the police department's recommendation and passed an urgency ordinance number 1712 imposing a 45-day moratorium on the establishment and intensification of massage parlors. Council, under Government Code Section 65858, there's the 45-day moratorium is going to expire on May the 8th. However, Government Code Section 65858A allows the city to extend the moratorium for an additional 10 months and 15 days. So the city needs this additional time to study and adopt a regulatory and zoning standards for massage parlors. It's really based on staff's recommendations, and what we've been able to look at is our request for the extension because of the need for further examination of the regulations so we can strengthen our ordinance and really coincide with what the state law has recently passed. I can go into further detail and analysis if council wants, but at this time I'd ask council to consider opening up a public hearing to take public input, and then I can answer any questions that you have.
Move to open a public hearing.
Motion's been made to open the public hearing. Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposition? Hearing none. Okay. Is there anyone from the public that would like to address this? This is a public hearing right now. Hearing none. Is there a motion to close the public hearing?
Motion to close the public hearing.
Motion's been made to close the public hearing by Carla Perez, seconded by Councilmember Edward Montoya. All those in favor of closing it, signify by saying aye. Aye. Okay, now we'll move on to approving it. Or any discussion?
Mr. Mayor, move approval of, or the adoption of urgency ordinance number 1713.
Okay, motion's been made by Mayor Pro Tem Ed Scott, seconded by Carla Perez. And I'd just like to say I think it's good that we extend it because we need not only to create the zoning standards that need to be developed now and in the future, and then also it's important for our city to make sure that people that are operating those massage parlors are operating massage parlors and aren't operating anything else within those massage parlors. So with that, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposition?
I'm doing a roll call. Mayor Pro Tem Scott.
Aye.
Councilmember Perez.
Aye.
Councilmember Montoya.
Aye.
Councilmember Caracellis.
Aye.
Mayor Baca.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, council.
Motion carries. We'll move on to tab 2.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, and members of the City Council. Chris Jensen, Fire Chief. Tonight I'm presenting the annual weed abatement program that you took action on at the last council meeting through Resolution 8489 for the abatement of public nuisances and fire hazards within the city of Rialto. The California Government Code authorizes cities to declare weeds, rubbish, and refuse on private property as a public nuisance or a fire hazard. This program is one of the most important fire prevention tools we have in the city. Within the city of Rialto, we currently have approximately 225 vacant parcels, all of which are inspected twice a year, once in the spring and once in the fall. As part of this program, our Fire Prevention Division sends notices to all vacant property owners, as shown in Exhibits B and C, attached to the staff report, and properties that remain non-compliant are referred to our weed abatement contractor beginning May 15th for the spring clearance, and again on October 1st for the fall cycle. The city pays the upfront cost of abatement, and those costs, along with a $149 administrative fee, are then applied to the respective property tax bills for reimbursement. This process ensures the program is fully cost recoverable with funds budgeted annually and revenue returned through the county tax roll system. Environmental considerations are also incorporated within the notice. Parcels identified as potential habitat for the Delhi sandflower loving fly and other habitat and protected plant species are notified with instructions to coordinate with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service to ensure proper abatement. This program directly supports our general plan goal 5-3 by reducing fire hazards and strengthening overall community safety. Property owners were notified of the public hearing tonight, 5 days prior to the hearing pursuant to the Rialto Municipal Code. Staff requests City Council to conduct a public hearing to consider ordering the abatement of weeds on various properties within the city limits and to hear any objection to imposing the abatement costs, therefore as a lien against parcels of property set forth in Exhibit A. And I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. And this is a public hearing?
Motion to open the public hearing.
Motion been made by Carla Perez. Do I hear a second? Second. Seconded by Edward Montoya. Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any oppositions? Hearing none. So we've closed the public hearing. Now we'll move on to the item itself. Is there any discussion by members of the council? Andy Caraceres?
Move for approval.
Motion's been made by Andy Caraceres. Do I hear a second?
Wait a minute.
We
You're
did.
moving, you missed one step. They
Okay.
voted to open it, which was fine. So now, are you gonna vote to close it?
Okay.
Motion to close the public hearing.
Motion, okay, been made to close the public hearing.
Second.
Seconded by Edward Montoya. Motion was made by Carla Perez. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, now we'll move into the item itself. Motion's been made by, I think it was.
No, I have it, yes. So you want, now you want to discuss it. if
Any
you have it.
discussion? I'd just like to, just a question that I have no objections to it, and I think it's good, basically because it provides safety and protection to our residents that have blight or weeds or whatever near their homes and the possibility of fires in that area. But my concern is that I saw that there are 6 residents that actually have addresses in the city of Rialto when I went through it. 6 of them have residents here, but 2 of them under redevelopment that belong to the city. Why are we getting, and why aren't we taking care of it? I mean, when I looked at it, you know, I says, hey, that belongs to our property and we're assessing ourselves.
No. If you may recall, last year, the council brought this issue forward as well, and we removed the city parcels and successor agency parcels, and there were a few that were still within the list that was provided, but we did not send them notices. And the city has been diligent under the Public Works Director in getting city properties and successor-owned properties abated. So we actually, yes, they're listed, but we did not send them a notice.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I saw it on here listed, and I said, well, then why are they listed on page 10 of it? I saw it there, and then on page 11, I saw the other one. I says, redevelopment agency, City of Rialto. Oh, are we not in compliance? Okay, but thanks for the clarification.
Thank you.
But maybe we shouldn't have listed on. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Well, there was, I think, a motion, and we need a second.
Well, there was
I'll
a
second that.
Who made the motion?
Andy.
Andy Caraceres?
And second by?
Second by Carla Perez. And there was discussion, so all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposition? Hearing none, motion carries. We'll move on to tab 3.
Thank you, Mayor. The presentation this evening will be by Cindy Hernandez from AGI.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, City Council, staff, and community. My name is Cindy Hernandez with Avant-Garde, the city's housing consultant partner, and today we will be presenting the city's draft annual action plan for fiscal year 2026-2027. The Community Development Block Grant Program was initiated by an act of Congress as part of the Housing and Community Development Act of 1974. The CDBG program is funded directly by the federal government's Office of Housing and Urban Development, otherwise known as HUD. HUD is responsible for issuing the city's entitlement fund, and they provide annual grants on a formula basis to cities like Rialto to carry out eligible activities. The city is considered the HUD grant recipient or grantee as they receive the funds directly from HUD, and when the city awards funds to other organizations to carry out programs or activities, they are referred to as subrecipients. These grants provide for a wide range of housing, community, and economic development activities. HUD requires that the city submit an annual action plan. The annual action plan outlines the city's use of its community development block grant and home investment partnership program funds each year. The one-year action plan discusses the specific activities planned for the upcoming fiscal year and outlines all of the resources available. And there are 3 categories of funding split into administration, public services, and capital improvement projects. Fiscal year 2026-2027 is the second action plan year of the 5-year consolidated plan, fiscal year 2025 to 2029. CDBG primary objectives are decent housing, a suitable living environment, and expanding economic opportunities, principally for persons of low and moderate income. A general overview of CDBG eligible activities may include activities such as business assistance, community and public facilities, economic development, infrastructure improvements, and public services. In order to fund activities, the proposed activity must align and address one of the goals from the 5-year consolidated plan. It must meet a national objective, and the city must also consider funding caps. Program administration is subject to 20% of the total allocation, and the city can utilize up to 15% of the allocation to public services. The remaining 65% can go to community facilities and infrastructure improvement projects. For fiscal year 2026-2027, the city has received a total allocation of $1,075,883. The respective funding caps are seen on the screen. 20% of the allocation for program administration, up to 15% can be utilized for public services. The city does have a required funding payment of Section 108 loan, and that's $143,791.10. And the remainder goes to non-public services activities. The one-year action plan goes through the ad hoc committee. This year, the ad hoc committee is comprised of the city mayor and city council member Carla Perez, who select activities recommended to city council for funding. City council can then accept or make modifications to the recommendations based on the ad hoc committee's recommendations. This year, the city held a public meeting in front of the ad hoc committee on April 7th and again on April 13th. Each agency was given an opportunity to present its proposed program and make a formal request for CDBG funding. The ad hoc committee deliberated and provided the following recommendations, which have been outlined in the following slide and included in the draft annual action plan, which was made available for public review and comment beginning March 30th, 2026. As seen on the slide, the recommendations for funding are separated by each funding category and their respective funding caps. There are a total of 13 activities, 2 for program administration with a funding cap of 20% of the allocation, 7 under public services with up to 15% of the allocation, and the remainder go to non-public services activities with a total of 4 activities, including that Section 108 loan repayment. Home program objectives include expanding the supply of decent and affordable housing, particularly for low and very low income, strengthening the abilities to state and local governments to design and implement strategies for affordable housing and achieving adequate supplies, providing financial and technical assistance, including development of model programs for affordable low-income housing, and extending and strengthening partnerships to produce and operate for affordable housing. This year, the city's home allocation is $343,254.06. This program also includes respective funding caps. Home program administration is subject to a 10% cap. There is a mandatory set aside for community housing and development organizations 15%, and the remainder would go to residential rehabilitation grants. Staff recommends that the City Council open the public hearing and solicit comments from interested citizens for the one-year action plan, adopt a resolution approving the fiscal year 2026-2027 annual action plan, authorize the city manager or their designee to submit the annual action plan to HUD, and authorize the city manager or their designee to take all actions necessary to implement the programs identified in the action plan. This does conclude my presentation.
Thank you. At this time, we'll open it up for public hearing. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Motion's been made by Carla Perez. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Seconded by Andy Caraceres. This time, we'll open it up. Is there any members from the public that would like to address or have any comments in reference to what was presented and what was recommended? Seeing none, do I hear a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Motion's been made by Carla Perez, seconded by Edward Montoya. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any oppositions? Hearing none. At this time, we'll move it on to discussion and approval. Do I have anyone that would like to discuss it or make a motion to approve?
For the record, Mayor and Councilman, I have no oral communication for Mr. Speak on that, so.
Okay, thank you.
So Mayor, are these organizations coming up to discuss their programs or request the funding, or how do we do that?
They actually came to the committee as it was described earlier. We had two separate meetings that myself as the mayor and Carla Perez held. The first meeting that we held, we listened to a lot of the recommendations by the organizations, and then we were also notified at the last moment that we actually received less funding, so therefore we asked for another meeting so we can make the adjustments and give the appropriate funding based on the amount of money that was coming in from the federal government. So based on that, they also had an opportunity to come back, but most of them had already made their presentations. Some of them did come back and made their presentation, such as the Veterans Program that came back, and we considered them for funding as well, along with the others that had already submitted their recommendations. So these are the recommendations of the subcommittee based on the amount of dollars that we had from the federal government. And it complies with both the federal and the one-year action plan that needs to be taken in order for us to do it. So at this time, Mayor Pro Tem Ed Scott, do you have a question or comment?
Move adoption of Resolution 8497.
Motion's been made by Mayor Pro Tem Ed Scott and seconded by Andy Caraceres. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any oppositions? Hearing none, motion carries. Congratulations to all the organizations that are present here right now. Thank you. It's approved. Now we'll move on to tab 4.
Yes, good evening, Honorable Mayor, Mayor and Pro Tem, members of the City Council. Thank you for the opportunity to bring back for the Council's discussion and consideration the City's audited financial statements for fiscal year ending June 30, 2025. Our brief agenda this evening is to cover the scope and results of the audit. So first we have the scope of the audit. There's three major phases to this. There's first risk, what we refer to as risk testing. This covers cash, payroll, procedures, internal controls. That's what they look at first before we get started. Then after all of the reporting entries and the books are actually closed, we have the field work where the audit firm collects evidence in order to validate the accuracy of the financial statements. Finally, in the final phase, the auditors formulate what we refer to as an audit opinion. and this is based on the evidence, and they produced the final draft of the audit report, and this is the report that is presented to the council and has been to city administration. There were no significant difficulties or concerns in the process, and the auditors had no disagreement with management in terms of accounting or the audit procedures performed. The results of the audit is what we refer to as an unmodified opinion or a clean audit. This means that the financial statements are fairly presented in all material respects, and most importantly, they accurately represent the financial condition of the city. There are two items for mention, two findings, both under the heading of the report on internal controls and compliance. And the first one, this is actually a simple restatement, an accounting classification that was directed by our previous audit firm. And the only reason this is referred to as an error was a change in what we call a GASB, and that is a government accounting standard. So those can change from year to year. The second, under internal controls, there was a finding, and this was related to a process that the auditor labeled human resources processing deficiency related to inconsistencies in the preparation, review, and processing of personal action forms. Internally, that's the governing document for making any changes to personnel. So this was part of the risk testing. This matter has been addressed, and staff are engaged with multiple departments and city administration correcting this in terms of standardized procedures, as well as use of the city's existing technology in the ERP system. So in conclusion, the city's financial results are presented as a clean audit with financial statements representing fairly presented in material respects, reasonable compliance with accounting practices, there's no fraud or abuse, and finally, they accurately represent the condition of the city. That concludes our report, and we have the city's audit manager with us, as well as the Deputy Director of Finance, should the council have any detailed questions for further discussion.
Okay, thank you. Is there any discussion, because this is to accept, review, and to file for 2025? Mayor Pro Tem Scott?
Thank you. I'd like to get a little more into this PAF situation. Can you specifically tell me what we've enacted and what we're doing to resolve this issue? I have a serious concern with the fact that PAFs are not being processed in a timely manner.
In terms of what we have done, so this involves, most importantly, the Human Resource Department, as well as the Finance Department, as well as the specifically Payroll Division. So the first thing was standardizing the process. This is setting standards in terms of expectations of staff, actual roles, and the overall process. In terms of the use of technology, this is a significant one. This is the direction we're going for all of the work that we're doing related to financial or personnel in the city. And that is, I mentioned the use of the technology we've already paid for. It's what we refer to as a workflow when something is going through a financial system rather than a paper form that is then scanned, put on the shared drive, and numerous opportunities for something just to get missed or lost, delayed, or have inaccuracies. So the system has a tendency to help safeguard against errors, meaning we're using the data that is already in there with fields that are going to limit user error. That is a process. We can't just roll something out. As the council knows, it can't be done in a rushed fashion. But this has been in the works for months, and this is at the direction of the city manager for this to be implemented. So we have a couple of steps left, a few things to firm up to roll that out.
That's good to know. And, you know, just a comment, there's nothing more important, I think, to this council than to make sure that our employees are getting their pay and benefits in a timely and proper manner. And when we hear stories that employees have not gotten benefits, have not gotten pay increases, or even in some cases pay when they should have, that's alarming. So we need to make sure that this gets corrected, not in a timely manner, but in an immediate manner. And the other issue is that people in the city, employees in the city who have been overpaid and now are having to pay money back. That should never occur in this city. And I'm hoping that you put something in place to keep that from happening. My final comment is, after we held this over from the last meeting, I appreciate the fact that you and the city manager met with me, went through the audit. We had a good discussion. I hope every other council member here had the opportunity to also meet with you if they so desired. And that's the way that should happen. I'm also glad to see the management letter as part of this process. What I would like to see in the future is this pulled out from this binder and sent to us a week or two in advance, so that each one of us has the opportunity to really look at it, because we have a responsibility to the taxpayers of this city to make sure that the information in here is accurate, and that their money, because it's not our money, it's their money, is being protected and spent in a proper manner and way. Thank you very much again for meeting with me.
I have a couple of go ahead, Alderman Doyle.
So I had a couple of questions as well. You said that we have this new technology and we probably paid a pretty penny for it, but we can't just roll it out. Why can't we? If it's there, we paid for it, roll it out. It's there to safeguard, roll it out.
So if I can add to that, thank you, Councilmember Montoya. So I think it's not that we can't roll it out immediately. We are taking immediate steps right now. We've had implementation meetings with our Tyler consultants, with our finance teams, our IT teams, and it is actively in the process right now. The next stage of the deployment of the personnel action system within ERP is to meet with the departments to make sure that they're aware and understanding of how their process will change, and in particular public safety departments. When we initially rolled out the ERP system, we had a number of issues with it that related to payroll, unfortunately. And so with this process, we want to go very carefully to make sure that what we're implementing not only makes it more efficient, but is also error-free. So we're going as fast as we can without compromising the integrity of our payroll system.
Okay, thank you. Last question, who's responsible for processing PAFs?
When they go in stages, so it's initiated at the department. It does go to...
What department?
Any department making a change to an employee. So this could be a simple step increase, something of that nature, hire anything. It's anything related to a change with an employee. It originates at the department, it goes to human resources, and from there, the remaining part of that is done in the finance department. Some of these will change a little bit with the workflow, and so this represents a major change in process, as city manager mentioned. So there's the caution. And when we say caution, we don't mean months and months down the road. We just want to make sure that it is completely error-free, especially given the past challenges with payroll.
Understood.
And I think just to echo that, the final signature on all of the PAF forms is human resources, and then it's sent over to payroll for implementation. So at the end of the day, anything that's changing pay and benefits requires the oversight of HR.
Got it, understood, thank you.
Yeah, a couple of questions. One in reference to, it would be helpful in the future when we get this report, is I looked down here and it says land held for resale. What do you really mean, land held for resale? And where is it that we have the land for resale?
Well,
I looked at on page, on figure 1 and figure 2. They're, you know, both of them, when I try to compare the amount of dollars in each one, and I'm trying to figure out, where do we have it?
So, I mean, these could represent any vacant lot owned by the city. So, do you know the
But if we do, it would be helpful if we knew,
okay,
you know, what land's for sale.
Sure, we can certainly get you that
Yeah.
report.
Just, you know, in the future. I mean, I'm okay with this here. And then the other question I have, and I know that you mentioned it earlier, but when you mentioned the 2 findings identified, you know, on page 5, it said that, of course, due to correction error, what action was taken to correct it?
the accounting error?
Yeah.
It was a simple reclassification. So,
Just reclassification?
yes, just an accounting entry. So there's no material entry whatsoever involving cash or asset or anything else. We mentioned there that the GASB standard, those do change from year to year, and we're directed to record something in a particular way. And if it has changed year over year, that is how it's expected. And what it's driving at is standardization of what we refer to as the ACFR, the audited financial statements. So you can get an apples-to-apples comparison throughout public agencies.
Okay. The other area that you identified was it was due to primary staffing challenges within the financial department. Has action been taken to make sure that we have the personnel so we don't run into these kind of problems in the future, whether it means we advertise, fill those positions that need to be filled, because when I looked at it, and I don't know if we have filled those positions or not, and I think that was part of the question that our Mayor Pro Tem asked, is making sure everybody meets payroll and they get paid. But if we don't have the staff that can implement this, that presents a problem in trying to make sure that we're complying and that we're keeping everybody happy and getting their checks when they should be getting them.
Yes, so we have filled numerous positions in the department, especially there is this.
But have you filled them all?
Not all. We have one in particular final recruitment that is pretty critical to the accounting process, and that's a supervisor level over the staff accountants. So we are anticipating that being filled. We have a short list of candidates, and we're anticipating that getting filled very soon. But that's a tangible example of exactly what you're talking about. We have this critical level of, it's a mid-level, but professional level, analyst, and so that we need these positions filled, and we need them filled at a competency level to deliver in a timely manner.
Yeah. Well, hopefully that we can fill these positions so we don't come back and say, well, we're having primary challenges with staffing. And so this way we don't have some of the same problems that have occurred in the past will not occur in the future by filling the positions that we need to fill and then getting the audit report to us in a timely fashion as well. And with that, do I hear a motion? There's no further discussion?
Move that we accept and receive the audit report.
Motion's been made
Second.
that we accept and review and file the report, seconded by, first of all, made by Mayor Pro Tem Ed Scott, seconded by Carla Perez. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Hearing none, motion carries. Thank you. Is that telling us that we should, did Edison call out an outage?
We'll give our technology a minute to catch back up to us here.
At least we were not.
Yeah, I wonder what the cause is. Yeah, so it's got us phone better.
There we go.
So tab 5 this evening, Mayor and Council, will be presented by Kevin Johnston, who is our new IT manager. Thanks, Kevin.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, City Manager. All right. Good evening, Honorable Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, and council members. As City Manager said, my name is Kevin Johnston. I'm the IT manager. I'm presenting tab 5, requesting council to authorize a purchase order with nth generation in an amount not to exceed $475,000 for 4 Cisco 9000 series switches and 2 Palo Alto 3420 firewalls, utilizing a NASPO cooperative purchasing agreement. The reason we're doing it as a not to exceed amount is because due to the volatility of pricing on technology related to AI and data centers, Cisco is advising us that their pricing is only good for 14 days. So the quotes that we've supplied amount to $457,737.58. I believe the Cisco quote expires Friday. The city's core network infrastructure has reached end of life and will stop receiving software and security updates within the next year, which has a significant impact on the city's security posture. The switches act as the backbone for connectivity between City Hall buildings and remote sites, while the firewalls provide security between city sites and the internet in general. Conventional wisdom regarding cybersecurity is that an attack is a matter of when, not if, and our goal is to provide security or defense in depth, meaning multiple overlapping layers so that if one defense fails, others can still stop an attacker. If you can imagine our environment as a medieval castle with our data at the center, the firewalls and switches are our first lines of defense, similar to a moat or the high walls of a castle, respectively.
Kevin, no offense, but this is kind of boring, so we'll move approval.
Oh. Motion's been made by Mayor Pro Tem Scott, seconded by Carla Perez.
And it's nice to meet you.
You too, thank you.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Congratulations on passing the first one.
Thank you very much.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Tab number 6.
Hello, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, and Council. The item before you is to asking Council to purchase at least, well, I'm going to ask for 10. 10 Ford Explorer Police Interceptor vehicles from Fairview Ford.
For approval.
Thank you.
Motion's been made by Carla Perez. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mayor Pro Tem Ed Scott. Any discussion? The only thing I'd say that I know that we're purchasing, the Ford Explorers, but this basically sort of like tells us that maybe we need a car dealership here in the city of Rialto instead of going to San Bernardino to purchase the vehicles. That's
Yes, sir. No disagreement there.
all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Hearing none, motion carries.
Thank you, Council.
That concludes the items on the tab and consent items. So at this time, we'll move on to reports by members of the council. So we'll start with my council member to the left, Carla Perez.
Thank you, Mayor. Nothing to report.
Council member Edwin Montoya.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. This past couple of weeks, I attended the Tactical Medicine Expo at California University of Science and Medicine over there by Arrowhead Hospital. It was a really cool event. Helicopters, I seen a lot of our firefighters, our police officers, and it was really nice to see all of these different agencies getting together and providing support for one another. I also attended the Neighborhood Health pre-grand opening. Councilwoman Perez was also there. I attended the Rialto High School NJROTC Military Ball as an honored guest, and that was a really cool opportunity to be selected as an honored guest to their military ball. I attended the Rialto on Wheels. Right after the Rialto on Wheels, I headed over to the River Ranch Summer Nights Community Gathering and Market. This is the first year that they've held this, and it was really nice to see their new community coming together to put on an event. Even though it got rained out, it was nice to see everybody getting together, sharing food with one another, selling little things that they make within their community. And lastly, I attended a Mission Freedom event. This is an organization that is available to veterans, and it assists them with dealing with their PTSD, traumas, and things of that nature. So it's a really cool organization called Mission Freedom, and veterans can check it out, and they can learn about themselves, learn how to heal, and learn how to be a better, more productive member of their community. And that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Council Member Andy Caraceres.
Thank you, Mayor. So did the Rialto on Wheels, along with most everyone here on the dais, really want to thank our city clerk for doing such a fantastic job putting it together with Healthy Rialto. Our police and fire were there, and really big shout out to some of the amazing bikes that were there, a lot of the vintage BMX bikes. One of the winners for first place, and there he is, Billy. All the way from Las Vegas, came down from Las Vegas to take the first place and best in show, so congratulations to him, and his brother actually won second place, so they pretty much swept it. Big shout out to Don's Bike for their participation, all the bikes that were donated, and also all the elected officials that donated bikes, along with our county supervisor, Joe Baca Jr., who also donated a lot of bikes. I saw his face on all of them, or a lot of them. It looks like PD, fire, everyone donated bikes. So it's a really good community event. I think everyone that stayed actually received a bike because there was just that many. So that's great to see that we have such a huge participation from our community, our electeds, and mostly very well put together by our city clerk that really does a fantastic job putting all these resources together. So thank you very much. One thing I'd like to see in the future is, they had a lot of awareness with e-bikes, but I'd like to see a component in the future, maybe even a different bike show that incorporates a lot of the e-bikes. E-bikes are becoming very popular, so I want to make sure that our community knows and is aware of the regulations about e-bikes. You know, they're supposed to be on the streets, not on the sidewalk. So just more of an awareness of how e-bikes should be driven in our city, and just give information to all of our community. And that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Mayor Pro Tem Ed Scott.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. On April 20th, I had the honor and privilege of attending the annual Victims Memorial that was put on at Sunrise Church by District Attorney Jason Anderson. I happened to run into Chief Kling and some of his officers at that event. It was a beautiful event, very nice. There were 3 speakers. One was a young man who I was going to say was about 10, 11 years old, Chief, right? That just gave an outstanding speech. His mother had been murdered. He's gone through a program over at Loma Linda, and he was just an amazing young man. But it was a really good event, and I'm very happy to see that it was brought to Rialto at Sunrise Church. Well worth going to. If anybody gets a chance this next year to go to it, I would encourage anybody in Rialto, especially my fellow council members, to attend. I also attended Saturday, the Ride Rialto. I spent the entire day with the city clerk. And it was a lot of fun. It just really was a lot of fun. I did go on the ride. Mr. Mayor, I didn't ride a bike. I rode a golf cart the police department was flying around on, and thank God, because that ride was about 10 miles, and a lot of it was uphill. But my hat's off to everybody that was in that ride. This is really an event that very few other cities do. That is something that our city clerk and Don's Bikes should be very proud of. And I would like to see it grow and expand. It was just a great event. And I also want to commend the residents of this city for having the courtesy, even though there were a lot of police officers to make sure they stopped, but they were very respectful to the riders and stopped and yielded and waited for the riders to go by. So thank you, community, for doing that. It was, again, a great event. Barbara, you and your staff, all the city staff that helped, our police department, fire department, great job. It was just a really, really good event.
Thank you.
Also today, I attended the Southern California Edison Forum, kind of a boring thing to attend, almost like going to an IT convention. But they talked about the upcoming PSBs, where we're going to get our electric service shut down because of possible fires. They are predicting that there will be 30 heat wave days this year. Last year there were 14. So that tells you our electricity is going to be shut off a lot this summer. So we should prepare for it as a community. The one thing that I did want to talk about is they have a program, City of Norwalk is participating with batteries for residents that need them for necessity. I know, Chief, you've got some batteries over there. I let Barbara McGee know that you have them. She may be coming for them. I'd watch out for her. But we should maybe engage with our rep at Edison and get a more active program to assist seniors and individuals who have illnesses and stuff where they have to have certain types of equipment and they need electricity for it during these shutdowns. So I would like for us, city manager, to reach out to Karina at Southern California Edison and see if we can duplicate the program that they have at Norwalk. But it looks like it's going to be a hot summer, folks, so let's get prepared for it. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much. Next, I'd like to give my report. I participated in Career Day at Anton at elementary school in San Bernardino, and it was nice to speak to third graders and fifth graders. It's a lot difficult to try to communicate with a lot of the third graders in terms of Career Day, but I think they really enjoyed. The fact is that quite a few people from within the communities, surrounding communities, went out and spoke at the elementary school. The other thing that we attended, it was Council Member Edward Montoya, City Manager Tanya Williams. We attended the city's leadership summit in Sacramento, and it also gave us an opportunity to lobby with a lot of the legislators in reference to some of our concerns that we have. And we're hoping that we'll be on the radar for additional funding. And I'm glad that you mentioned the heat waves that are coming up, because that was one of the areas that we did lobby in trying to get funding for splash pads at our parks. And we mentioned the 4 parks in that area. We also lobbied for our water well, that we need to have plumes in that area. And then the other area that we lobbied to as well was for our senior roofs, that we need improvement with the roof. And then our Veterans Memorial too that we have, that we also talked about. And it seems like all of them were quite interested in putting it on their radar for the possibility of recommendations. And then, of course, you know, I happened to talk to Chief Klain prior to going up there, and he says, you know what, you've got to lobby for us in public safety, especially as it pertains to the cameras that are needed in our area. So we actually talked about those with each and every one of the lobbyists. So they're looking at that too as well. And we explain why it's so important to have these cameras that are there. And I used myself and my wife that was in attendance too as well as an example why these lights are important, these cameras at the intersections, because when there's an accident that happens, a lot of times people witness it, but they don't stay there. And so what happens is the police officers are trying to figure out who's at fault, and a lot of times when you don't have those kind of cameras, it's very difficult. But having those kind of cameras, now you'll be able to identify who that person who actually ran the red light or crashed into another car. So it's very vital and important for our city, for the safety of our area. So we mentioned that to a lot of them, so they like the idea of the analogy that I use, because I personally was involved in an accident like that where someone else, but I was very fortunate that the witness stood there and testified that it was the other individual that ran a red light and I had the green light. The other area that, well, that was the last area that we had, but I also attended, like everyone here, on the diocese, Rialto on Wheels. It was very well attended in the area. There was a lot of bikes that were given out. A lot of members from our communities came out. And I think it's an excellent event that we're providing, and thank you, Barbara, for being involved for some time in Rialto on Wheels, in allowing our community to participate, especially a lot of our youth that get an opportunity to ride their bikes and they're escorted by our police department. So how often do you get an escort, that the police department is there with them every step of the way? And none of the individuals would be able to ride their bikes, but they had to have a helmet, and those that didn't have a helmet were told to go back and register and get a helmet and get back on it. So I also want to compliment the fire department too as well, because the fire department and the police department were very active in the Rialto on Wheels and participated, and there was a lot of kids that were going over to the fire department, the police department, and just asking questions about how do I become a firefighter, or how do I become a police officer too as well. So I want to thank both of you for departments for being involved in it. Last but not least, I also attended the Rialto Unified School District Rialto Ritz Gala. It's a talented individuals that perform from a variety of different schools throughout the city of Rialto, and they show off their talents during that period of time. So it could be any kid between the ages of 5 all the way through high school, and it was a very interesting event that's held every year, put on by Rialto Unified School District. And I encourage our members here to go in the future to show that we're working with them as well as them with us in terms of our community. And I know that some members from here have gone in the past, and this year sometimes schedules just doesn't permit,
Love to do that.
But that concludes my report. So I'd like to move on to reports by other members of the council. I'd like to first of all call on our city clerk, Barbara McGee.
Well, I have nothing to report. You guys have talked about the bike show, so I'm good. Thank you.
How many bikes did you give away?
About 80. And that was, well, I guess I will say a report from the, a lot of them came from the police department. I want to thank them. And they also sponsored the Safe Moves. That was sponsored by the police department. And then from the fire department, 3688 donated, I don't know, about 30 bikes out there. So it was donated. And then I want to thank you, Councilmember Perez, bikes. Councilmember Montoya and Mayor Pro Tem, thank you for the bikes, and the kids was excited. They wanted to meet you, but they met Mayor Pro Tem and they was happy. He actually spent the day with me, So he was my date on Saturday. So yes, I had a date on Saturday with Mayor Pro Tem.
We're sorry you got stuck with him.
Aren't you glad that day is over?
No, it was good. No, but seriously, all the little kids, all the little kids that came around was happy, and that they was happy to spend a date with the Mayor Pro Tem. So, and I thank all you guys for coming out, Mayor, and so next year, and PD and Fire, thank you so much for your bikes. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Next, I'd like to move on to our city manager, Tanya Williams.
Good evening. No report tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, I'd like to move on to our city attorney, Eric Vale.
Thank you, Mayor. No report tonight.
I'd like to move on to our police chief, Mark Kling.
Hello, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem and Council. I'm going to kind of go in a different direction, and kind of, I think our clerk talked about this a little bit earlier, and I want to just kind of talk from holistic. I don't think there's an employee in our agency, and I'm going to probably speak for the fire department also on this one, even though the chief, I'm sure, is capable of really looking truly at what we do here in the community, but more importantly, what we're giving back to the community in the way of whether it's bicycles or just interaction or having community events. I think it's really important for us to continue building the strong momentum that we've got going on with both of our departments as we look at a public safety entity. I couldn't be more proud than with our department. I will tell you that this coming on May the 1st, our department's going to kind of push forward a little bit different perspective, and we're going to challenge Carter High School and their soccer team at 6 p.m. It's a fundraiser, and it's put on. It's for their team, and it's also for Rialto Police Benefit. Our unions, the general unit. And I think it's really important, not only with that aspect of it, but I couldn't be more proud of our department. This last weekend, we participated in a basketball tournament for Hector Cuevas Jr., who was the deputy that was killed on March 17th of 25 up in the high desert. Our teams competed, played several games that day, and Rialto PD prevailed. I had a little bit of chippy going on with the sheriff that day, so I thought it was really nice that we actually beat Central Station. If you know anything about that, that's exactly where the headquarters is. So, but we did take home the trophy. That trophy, pretty nice size. First annual is going to be in our brand new lobby, which, by the way, we're moving in on that day on May the 7th is still what we're doing. The ribbon cutting, again, council, just put on your calendars. We'll send out more information in July, or the first part of August. It just depends on how well the parking lot goes. I also just want to tell council that we also sent a team up to Baker to Vegas last month. There was 272 teams that were competing, and if you think about there's 20 runners and do the math, Rialto Police Department came out number 21 overall. We improved our time by over an hour, and this is just the heart and soul of this police department now. We came in third in our division, which is a very, very tough division, but our times were faster than agencies that are sometimes 3 to 4 times our size. So we're really, really proud. And then I do also just want to close by telling the fire department that we're coming for you. The only thing we haven't won yet is the baseball tournament, but hey, we're up next. So I just want to put that out there for everybody. Yeah, Chief, that's a challenge. So that's my report tonight, Council. Thank you so much.
They have pretty good golfers, the fire department, you know?
They do, and we're not too good at golf, but we're going to try to do our best if they would like to challenge us. Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate that.
Next, I'd like to call on our fire chief, Chris Jensen.
Thank you, Mayor. We too would have attended all of those events, but Chief Kling issued us a restraining order, so we couldn't compete against him. So
that's what it was.
First of all, I attended the Rialto on Wheels event, and I was there for a good part of the day, and just seeing the smile on the kids' faces and them with their parents. It was an amazing event, and I got to speak to several of the kids as well as the parents, and they are super appreciative of that event. So thank you and well done. The second part of my speech was that there are no reported PSPSs, public safety power shutdowns in our area currently, and no local outages. So something is happening. And Mayor Pro Tem, I just wanted to thank you for bringing up the 30 days of heat. It's a great reminder that 38% of our population is vulnerable under heat conditions, and ensuring that our cooling centers are operational before the heat actually gets here. So I appreciate you reminding us of that. As we enter into May, I just want to point out a few things. May is Wildfire Awareness Month. So you'll see a lot of activities dealing with wildfires just around the region. May 4th is International Firefighters Day. And May 4th through the 10th is Arson Awareness Week. And May 17th through the 23rd is EMS Week. So just keep those in mind as we go into May, and I appreciate the council, and thank you.
Thank you. Next, I'll call in the Public Works Director, Yas Yanrami.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a quick report since the last report that I provided in terms of the work orders that we've done. Our crews have been very active. We did almost 400 work orders cleaning up graffiti. We had 271 work orders fixing potholes, different parts of the city, and 153 work orders cleaning up trash and debris. And of course, I wanted to thank our crews also. They did a great job cleaning the route for Rialto on Wheels on this past Saturday. We are going to wait for a little bit warmer temperature to do our stenciling. We need some warmer weather for that, but that is going to resume as soon as the weather warms up. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
And thank you very much, especially on the potholes, because I've heard a lot being out in the community. I'm sure my colleagues here have been out there too as well, and we're getting a lot of good compliments from members in our communities that say that our roads are a lot better, our potholes are being fixed in the city of Rialto. So that's a positive image that others are now talking about Rialto, outside of Rialto, about Rialto and what it's doing right now. So thank you very much. Next, I'd like to call on Christina Taylor, our Community Development Director.
Thank you, Mayor. Nothing to report this evening.
Thank you. Next, I'd like to call on our Parks Recreation Director, Cynthia Alvarado Crawford.
Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, and members of the council. Here's what's going on in Rialto. Summer camp registration opens online and in person this Friday, May 1st at 7 a.m. for all of June and July weekly sessions. International Festival will be this Friday, May 1st at Rialto City Park from 5:30 to 9:30. We have 40 vendors that will be at our event, 23 are food, and we have several different entertainment groups that will be out there performing. Star Wars Spirit Day will be Monday, May 4th, all day at Grace Vargas Senior Center. So if you want to stop by with your favorite Star Wars t-shirt or mask or costume, please stop on by and take some selfies. Rec and Roll will be at Joe Sampson Park every Tuesday and Friday, beginning Tuesday, May 5th, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Let's Fiesta Till We Siesta Senior Social will be Thursday, May 7th at Grace Vargas Senior Center from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Volleyball Division I summer season will begin Friday, May 8th at Carl Johnson Center Gym. Games start at 6 p.m. Basketball summer season begins Saturday, May 9th at Carl Johnson Center Gym. Games start at 10 a.m. Feeding America Senior Meal Distribution will be Wednesday, May 20th at Grace Vargas Senior Center from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. And then your save the dates are our Memorial Day tribute, Monday, May 25th at Rialto Park Cemetery from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And then our 4th of July celebration, which will be Saturday, July 4th at Jerry Eves from 5:30 to 9:30 p.m. And that concludes my announcements.
Thank you. Next, I'd like to call on our Finance Director, Scott Williams.
Thank you, Mayor. No report.
Thank you. And that basically concludes our reports for the day. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion's been made by Carla
Second.
Perez, seconded by Edward Montoya. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any oppositions? Hearing none. Council's adjourned.